In a fancy high-end restaurant, an old man dressed in an expensive suit is sitting alone. He is Virgil, an esteemed world-famous genius art expert. Just by looking or touching a painting, Virgil can discern if a painting is real or forged. As a regular of the restaurant, Virgil knows the head chef very well. It is the night before his birthday and he is given a free cake. However, he is celebrating alone and looks lonely. He craves the company of another person. On the morning of his birthday, Virgil got a call from a woman called Claire. She is planning to sell precious furniture and paintings from her deceased parents. They are said to be of high value and she does not trust anyone else to evaluate the items. Before her father's dying breath, he asks her only one thing. That if she one day would like to sell her painting, she should always ask for Virgil and Virgil only. The man answers that he usually does not participate in early valuation. But, hearing Claire's pleas, he agrees to meet her. He goes to an old mansion and waits. The mysterious girl never shows up. The next day, Virgil gets another call from Claire. He is screaming at his phone, angry that he's been stood up. He hangs up the call and refuses to talk. His secretary soon comes in. He informs his boss Claire is calling again and she is crying. She says on the phone that she was involved in an accident on her way to meet him. It was why she could not show up. She also did not have his phone number and couldn't let him know. Virgil feels pity at this girl and gives her another chance to meet. He arrives at the old mansion once more. Claire is still sick and could not meet him. But, she sends a caretaker in her stead to show him around the house. The mansion looks run down, but inside, it looks like a grand palace from the 18th century. Antique paintings can be found everywhere in the house. Virgil goes into their cellar and finds a rusted cog. He notes that the rusted part does not correlate with the damp floor. It looks out of place and he saves it for safekeeping. Virgil comes back to the mansion again the day after. He agrees to keep the inventory for further evaluation after he signs a contract. Claire's caretaker comes in to explain that she could not meet him again today. He gets mad and refuses to touch the furniture before meeting Claire in person. She calls him and clears up that she is currently in the police station. Virgil does not believe her. He tells Claire on the phone that he does not deal with people in the shadows. If she wants to keep their deal, she should explain and show her face soon. Claire promises to call him and come clean about her situation. Virgil hangs up the call and continues his investigation. He goes down to the cellar and finds another rusted cog. Seeing they could be clues for something, he pockets them. Virgil brings the cogs to the lab. With an expert mechanic called Robert, they put these gears under the microscope. The two experts cannot figure out what the mechanism is for or who made them. Getting more curious, Virgil promises to find more pieces of the puzzle. Virgil remembers his intention to call Claire and finds out about her identity. She picks up his call and tells him she changes his mind. Now, she refuses to work with him and lets him assess his furniture. She does not let him answer and hangs up the phone. Virgil is enraged and feels like he has been played. He bribes Claire's house caretaker and finds out that she suffers from a strange illness. Even her own caretaker who worked in the house for 10 years has never seen her in person. Virgil's bad mood because of Claire transpires into his art auction. Oftentimes, Virgil would conspire with his friend, Billy, to upbid in his auction. They would buy original paintings at low price and let forged paintings be sold at high price. Virgil saves all those original paintings in a secret room in his house. After they mess up the bid at the auction, Bill questions his bad mood. Virgil dismisses his concern and says it's nothing. Claire calls Virgil again and asks him to come by the villa. As he arrives, Virgil hears Claire's voice clearly behind a painting wall. He asks her if she can come out and meet his eyes. Claire replies that she has not got out or met anyone in 12 years. She is afraid of them. Virgil deduces that Claire has agoraphobia. Claire informs Virgil that she changes his mind about him. Although his attitude to her isn't very nice, she notes that he is the best at the job. She would like to continue working with him. Claire instructs him to put the contract on the table. He can pick up the signed contract another day. Before leaving, Virgil manages to steal another gear from the floor. During dinner, he hands the piece of the puzzle to Robert for further investigation. Together, they find that the mechanism originated from the 18th century. It is an automaton by a famous mechanic. If they manage to restore it, they can get a high value out of the antique. When Virgil comes by the villa, he finds the contract already signed by Claire. He remarks that her personal details are missing, but he still needs them filled. Claire hands her passport through the slit in the wall and tells him to fill it himself. Virgil tells her the passport expired a long time ago. She answers that it does not matter as he only needs her personal information. Virgil dismisses her strange evasiveness and heads out for the day. On his way out, the caretaker gives him the mansion's key. Claire wants him to have the key to have easier access to the villa. She also asks that he keeps the identity of her auction a secret. She wants to stay anonymous to the people buying her antique. Virgil respects her wishes and proceeds with the auction plan. For a few days, Claire does not call Virgil. He finds it strange since she always used to call every day. He tries calling, but nobody answers. He checks up on her condition through the caretaker. He confesses that he got sick and hasn't visited his boss for a couple of days. Virgil gets even more worried that something bad might happen to Claire. He runs to the villa and enters with his key. Under the table, laid a bloody napkin. Now panicked, he screams Claire's name and bangs on her wall. Claire's voice is heard. She is crying. She explains that she fell and hurt herself. Virgil tries to break down her wall and takes her to the hospital. But Claire refuses. She begs him to leave her alone and declines to visit the hospital. Virgil is frustrated at her fear of going out despite being ill. He drops the food he bought and leaves the mansion. The pair grows closer following that incident. Meanwhile, Virgil is back on his mission. He is determined to see Claire's real face. He and Robert come up with a plan. After a session talking about the auction, Virgil pretends to leave. He slams the door loudly and makes Claire think he already left. Then, he hides behind a statue and waits. Soon, a girl comes out of Claire's door. She is pretty and looks like any normal woman. There is no evident scarring or weird modification on her body. She walks around the house as Virgil watches. Satisfied with what he sees, he quietly leaves. Claire's birthday arrives. With that, Virgil brings a bouquet of flowers to the estate. He is starting to fall in love with Claire. But instead of a warm reception, he gets an angry reaction from Claire. She's angry at him for setting a low price at her antique auction. He defends his action and explains it as a way for the participants to bid up. He never means to scam her off. He would even be willing to sign an early commission to make sure he can't cheat her. Virgil is hurt by Claire's distrust. He thinks they are already closer than that. He throws out the bouquet he brings. Later that night, Claire apologizes for how she behaved. She opens up and tells him her birthday is always a horrible event. This year, Virgil makes it better by bringing her a flower. Something that nobody has ever done before. It scares her how much Virgil cares about her. This day alone, she manages to walk by herself in the garden. Usually she would be too scared to even get out of her room. Virgil advises her to talk to a psychologist about her agoraphobia. Claire laughs and replies that she prefers talking to Virgil himself. Once again, Virgil pretends to leave and hides behind a statue. While hiding, he accidentally makes a noise and scares Claire. She calls Virgil in a panic saying that somebody is in her mansion. She doesn't know it's Virgil himself. He comes by and finally comes clean. He confesses that he has been spying on her to see her face. Claire is conflicted by this confession. She is initially angry, but finally comes to accept him. She feels like she can trust Virgil and lets him touch her. Little by little, Virgil tries to make Claire leave the mansion. He would buy her fancy clothes and makeup in hope she will get more confident in her looks. He surprises her by asking her out on a makeshift date. He turns the mansion living room into a fancy dining room. They have a lovely dinner date as they both tell each other's story. Unbeknown to Claire, Virgil allows Robert to spy on them. He hides behind a statue to conceal himself and watches their date. Virgil has been telling all sorts of stories about Claire to Robert. Since he cannot take pictures, he wants Robert to see for himself. The next day, Robert's girlfriend comes to Virgil. She explains that she has been feeling distrustful of Robert. He keeps mentioning a girl named Claire and she's scared of him cheating. Virgil is caught off guard by this revelation. Something about Robert does not seem right. He visits Robert's place immediately and demands that he return their automata project. He no longer wants his help to complete the puzzle and mechanism. Claire brings Virgil to her room behind the wall. Touched by her action, Virgil kisses her. After the event, Virgil changes his mind about Robert. He brings back the mechanism to his place and asks him to continue fixing it. Robert accepts but requests that Virgil does not include him in his private life again. Virgil returns to the mansion and calls for Claire. There is no response. He enters her room and she is not there either. He looks everywhere but there is no sign of her. Claire has disappeared. For a few days, nobody has seen Claire anywhere. Virgil never gives up. He thinks Claire has gone back to hiding. He later finds another secret room in the house. Inside, Claire is curled up. She is so happy that Virgil can find her. She is scared that he would abandon her and hide away. Now, she knows he loves her and will never leave her alone. They make love into the night. After a while, Virgil also successfully cures Claire's agoraphobia. She no longer feels scared to go out of the house and meet other people. Everything is going well in their relationship. Trusting her, Virgil shows Claire his secret room. In his apartment, this room is full of his original vintage paintings collection. Virgil manages to buy these at low prices with Bill's help. Claire is amazed at his massive collection. During dinner, Claire finally makes a decision not to proceed with the auction. She is happy living with Virgil. She doesn't feel like the mansion is imposing on her anymore. She wants it to stay as it was. Virgil smiles and tears up his hard work on the catalog. He also announces that he is retiring from being an art expert. He is holding the last auction of his life. The auction is a success and goes smoothly. Bill is there and congratulates him. Once he returns to his apartment, Claire is nowhere in sight. He heads to his secret wall where all the secret paintings are stored. He opens the door. The room is empty. All his paintings are gone. In the middle of the room is an automaton. It is the same one he and Robert have been fixing. The robot is speaking in Robert's voice and saying there is something authentic in every forgery. Beside the robot is the painting he found in Claire's villa. In the back of the painting is Billy's signature. He was the one that painted the picture. Virgil has been scammed. Not only by Robert, but also by his own friend Billy and his love Claire. Virgil tries to find the scammers but they disappear. He feels defeated and heads to the bar opposite of the villa. There, he meets the real Claire Iberton. She is a dwarf with perfect memory. She could recall almost everything she saw. She tells Virgil that she often rents out her villa to cinema people. She has also seen Claire, the woman living in her villa, go out hundreds of times before. She does not actually have agoraphobia. It turns out, Virgil has been fooled by an actress. This fake Claire deliberately makes Virgil fall in love with her to reveal all his secrets. With Bill and Robert, they conspire to steal the paintings and make a profit for themselves. Before Claire, the real Claire also reveals that Robert lives there. It is possible that they meet in the mansion and plan their scam together. Everything finally makes sense to Virgil. He is depressed that his own friend would lie to him like this. He also thinks he finally finds the love of his life. That is why he decides to retire and spend the rest of his life with her. Virgil considers going to the police to report the robbery but decides against it. Despite everything, he still loves the fake Claire. Even though she only sleeps and loves him to scam him. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like and comment to help the channel. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.